Hey, how's it going everyone? Alejandro here, and today I'll be giving you my thoughts on the OnePlus 9, having used it as my daily driver for over a month now. I have here the base model OnePlus 9 in the Winter Mist colorway. This model will cost you $729 in the United States. What you'll get is 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, the latest Snapdragon 888 chipset, and 65 watts fast charging with the included charging brick and cable. Fantastic, thank you OnePlus. And if you're into it, the phone also supports up to 15-watt wireless charging. Now, as for the construction of the phone is made of a plastic frame that goes surrounding the phone, and on the front and on the back you have a Gorilla Glass 5, so pretty good. But you're definitely going to want to put a skin or get yourself a case for this one. See, I have the camera screen protector. I've also got one on the front. But definitely you're going to want a skin or some sort of case. Even though the phone's got a nice curvature, it sits in your hand really nice. It can be slippery. So I would highly recommend it. And because it's glass, you don't want to end up with a crack or anything on the back or the front. My case of choice so far has been the OnePlus Sandstone case. This case is pretty awesome, not gonna lie. I love the texture and I love the grip that it gives the phone. If you can hear that, it's really nice. Doesn't add a lot of bulk to the phone, keeps it nice and slim, slides in and out of the pockets easily, and I just like how it feels in the hand. Definitely would recommend it. It's a little bit pricey, but if you're willing to pay a little bit extra, maybe keep the brand looking, keep the same brand going on, then you might be into it. I would recommend it though. So let's go ahead and get started with the display, the thing that you look at every day. Well, with this, you're getting a 6.55 flat, which is amazing. It's one of the things I didn't like about the Pro phones. Flat display, 6.55 inches. At 1080p resolution and 120 hertz refresh rate. You've probably caught on to that by now. Buttery smooth, absolutely smacks in terms of speed when you put it together with Oxygen OS, which is super optimized for this kind of performance. Love it. Definitely my favorite Android experience comes with OnePlus every single time. When it comes to the display, the color accuracy is amazing. I mean, if you want to consume media, if you're that type of person with your phone, I mean, look at this. The colors are fantastic. You just get really accurate color representation, and because of OnePlus, you do get the options to change your color representation on your screen. You can keep it natural. You can make it more vivid. You can mess with the RGBs of the phone. Definitely love that customization that you get with OnePlus. Always appreciated. As you can see, very slim bezels all the way around the phone, all the way around the display, uniform bezels. And you also have the hole punch cutout. It's there. I always see it. I'm not one of those people that just gets used to it and can ignore it. But it's minimal, it's out of the way, so I'm not going to complain. I don't know how I feel, if I prefer it in the middle or on the left. I think I'm preferring it over here, but it's up to preference. But again, look at the colors on here. Fantastic. As for the speakers, you're getting stereo speakers. So you've got the main speaker right here at the bottom, the loud firing speaker, and then the secondhand speakers up here at the earpiece. The speakers get pretty loud, not gonna lie. Whenever I have people on speakerphone, whether I'm in the car, walking around the house, you can definitely hear things very clearly. So I love that. Let me give you a little sample of what that's like. Prepare yourselves for some crashing wave noises. It's about halfway. Prepare you guys, I'll put it all the way up. Pretty loud, as you can probably tell from that. Obviously, it's not going to be the best representation. I'm not using a microphone. This is coming through my recording device and through YouTube, so keep that in mind. But definitely great sounding experience on here, whether you're consuming media or on the phone. So you don't have to worry in that department. Now, something that's also important, battery life. As we know, or as you might know, OnePlus, when it comes to battery, they usually knock it out of the park, in my opinion. So with this phone, you're getting a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. And again, let me just say that the battery life on here is amazing. Now, not because the phone will last you all day, you never have to plug it in, no. There isn't a phone that lasts me all day. Not with how I use phones, and YouTube all day, listening to music, searching through the news. So yeah, no, there's no such thing as a phone that lasts me all day. But you're gonna get your very typical, depending on your usage, anywhere between 4 to 6 hours of screen on time, from my experience. That's light to heavy, and or heavy to light, I should say. But definitely great. But what's amazing about this phone is I'm not the person that likes to charge my phone overnight. I like to take care of my batteries and, you know, keep them as healthy as possible for as long as I can. So I never plug my phone in overnight. But waking up, whether your phone's at 10%, 20%, even 5%, by the time, I guarantee you, by the time, if you're not procrastinating and have to leave the house immediately, you plug this phone in when you wake up, 20, 25, no more than 35 minutes later, it's at 100%. So that is the fantastic thing about this phone. Definitely, it's a workhorse phone. If you're someone who's just on a tight schedule and you're on your phone a lot and you need to get those hours per day on your phone, whether it's sending emails, checking emails, using your camera, YouTubing, you want a phone that you can use. So definitely appreciate the fast charging technology that they have in this phone. Obviously, they include, like I showed, a charging brick and a cable. Apple, Samsung, come on. So definitely appreciated. Now, what everyone or most people want to know about these cameras. This Hasselblad partnership has been touted as a very big deal on OnePlus's own words. So, you know, people want to know, how are the cameras? So I'll be putting in a bunch of footage starting now, and you know, you guys can determine for yourselves, but my words, this is a really good camera setup, especially if you're into taking videos. If you wanted to start a YouTube channel with this camera, you can absolutely do it. I mean, don't be fooled by the fact that it says it can record up to 8K, because in my experience, the 8K footage doesn't render very well, but the 4K footage on this phone is phenomenal. To me, probably the best video recording on an Android phone. The color representation is killer. Even though there's no optical image stabilization, which is a weird omission considering that we have this absolutely useless monochrome lens, you still get really good stabilization with these videos. Obviously, if you're jerking around, your video is going to come out a little messy. But if you give it a good effort, you could definitely capture some really great footage with this camera setup. As for the main lens, on the OnePlus 9, it is the same lens that you got in the OnePlus 8 Pro. So it's a 48 megapixel Sony sensor. And then with the secondary lens, you have the same exact lens that's on the 9 Pro, which is the 50 megapixel ultra wide. This ultra wide is great. Now, I wouldn't say for taking photos of people, but of landscapes or any sort of scenery, this is a fantastic lens. Absolutely. Where I will say that the camera does struggle a little bit will be in portraits. The portrait modes can be pretty inaccurate, whether you'll get hair being blurred out or some of the background not focusing very well, or the bokeh just looking a little inaccurate, a little too blurred for a lot of people's opinions. It just depends. But I would say overall the portrait mode needs a little bit of work. I feel more comfortable when I use just the regular main camera lens and just to take a regular photo. The monochrome lens, again, I don't understand why didn't they just give us a telephoto lens? I don't know. OnePlus touts that the monochrome lens is supposed to help you with black and white photos, but just like Marquise Brownlee said, I mean, you should just put a filter on it if you want a black and white photo. So I don't understand that one. But the ultra wide serves great. It can serve really great as a macro lens, without a doubt. You can get really close up and take some really nice photography of some flowers. You'll see, as you've probably seen already in my sample photos. Overall, I have to say the cameras are great. The selfie shooter, can't forget about the selfie shooter. It's very important these days for a lot of people. But the selfie shooter's decent. Definitely not as good as an iPhone. It definitely would not go that far. It caps out at 1080p, so no 4K. And the photos you get from there, they're okay. They're passable. You could definitely throw them on your social medias. Nothing to worry about there. But again, overall, great camera setup. I would probably, when it comes to stills, still prefer the Google Pixel photos over the OnePlus. But I'll definitely take OnePlus's video over any Samsung or Android that I've had so far. Or Samsung or Pixel that I've had so far. Now, all in all, I have to say the OnePlus 9 is overall a really great package for the price. I mean, $729. It's not necessarily cheap, but for the price, you're getting a fantastic phone. I mean, you're getting the latest Android chipset with the Snapdragon 888. You're getting a really well optimized operating system with Oxygen OS that's just extremely fluid with this 1080p 120 hertz display. I love the size. I mean, for some people, I know it might be a little big, but if you prefer bigger phones, I think having the flat display is very welcome. I don't really trust curved displays. I don't really like them that much either, honestly. But all in all, you're getting a fantastic package with this one. There's definitely nothing that I would say you're going to be missing out on. If you're really picky when it comes to your pictures, I don't think you're going to be looking at this phone anyway. But if you're someone who still likes to be able to capture nice photos, but it's maybe not your priority, you care more about having a phone that performs, that you can count on, and maybe you prefer videos over photos, you want to be able to game, and you just want something that every time you pick it up is going to feel like it's going at 100. I definitely would recommend the OnePlus 9. Save yourself some money if you're not a person who considers yourself as someone who needs the pro models. Save yourself the money. You're not going to feel bad. If 128 gigabytes of storage is good enough for you, go out and get it. Honestly, I really, especially when I speak to iPhone users who are interested in getting involved in the Android space, I definitely always push them either towards a OnePlus phone or a Pixel. I think you get the cleanest experience of Android on either of those phone brands, and I think it's really comforting for iOS users, and I also think it offers a lot of interesting features, especially the refresh rate and just the customizability of Oxygen OS. I think it's definitely pleasant for a lot of people who've been used to the iOS way of life. So yeah, with that, thank you guys for stopping by. Those are my thoughts on the OnePlus 9. There'll be more to come. Camera comparisons. I'll make sure to drop another follow-up on how the phone is performing after a couple months, just to let you guys know how things are going in terms of the durability of this phone. But yeah, this has been Alejandro. Hope you guys enjoyed or learned something today. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. This has been the FonziReport.